Hello friends, today we're going to discuss about the different types of network topology, and we also discuss about what are the advantage and the disadvantage of each type. So let us start with the network topology. The network topology defines how the nodes of the networks are connected. So what do you mean by the node? Node means computer. So basically in the topology we'll define how the PCs are connected, how the computers are connected. The node can be your computer, it can be a printer. So any network devices, that is called as node. So basically in the topology it will define how the host or the devices are connected. So basically, there are two categories of the network topology. The first is a physical topology and the second is a logical topology. So let us discuss about this topology in detail. So first we'll discuss about what you mean by a physical topology. Basically, in the physical topology, it defines how the nodes of the networks are physically connected. So basically, any two device, how they are physically connected, we basically define in the physical topology. Now let us discuss about the logical topology. How the data is transmitted between the nodes. So basically, in the physical topology, we more concern about the physical connection, where in the logical topology, we concern about how the data is transmitted between the two devices. In order to have efficient system, the logical topology should chosen such that either the average hop distance or the packet delay or the maximum flow or any link must be minimal. So basically here we are more focused upon the data transmission. So what we are expected between the two devices, there should be a minimum hop, and also we concern about there should be a less packet loss. Also we concern about the packet delivery. In all this we're going to consider in the logical topology. Now let us discuss more about the physical topology. The shape of cabling layout used to link the device is called as a physical topology. So basically, whenever the two devices we are connected, we for their connection we need the cabling. So how the cabling is done? So basically that we're going to define in the physical topology. This refer the layout of the cabling, the location of the nodes, and the interconnection between the nodes and the cabling. So as you know, we discuss more about the physical connection between the two devices. So whether there is a dedicated link between the two computer or the same link is shared by the more computer. So all this we're going to discuss in the physical topology. The physical topology of the network is determined by the capacity of the network access device. So basically, how the particular link is able to access by the particular device. As you know, in the shared resource, at a time only one computer is going to transfer the data. Where there is a dedicated link, then both the computer can transfer that data over that link. So basically, which computer is able to access a particular device, we're going to decide this in the physical topology. And the media, so what is the connection between the two computer, whether they are connected by the coaxial cable, whether they are connected by the LAN cable, whether they are connected by the wireless LAN, whether they are connected by the optical fiber cable, and the level of control and the fault tolerance. Fault tolerance means whenever any fault take place, how it will affect the network. As you know, in the dedicated link, whenever there is a dedicated link between the two computers, if that link is down, it does not affect my the entire network. Now if we let us consider if that cable is shared by the many device, if that backbone cable, if there is a fault take place in the backbone network, then it will affect my entire network communication. So here in the topology we will decide how the fault tolerance is there. So all this we're going to consider in the physical topology. Now let us discuss more about the logical topology. The logical topology, in contrast, is the way the signal act on the network medium, or the way that the data passes through the network from one device to the next without regards to the physical interconnection of the device. So basically, in the logical topology, we are more concerned about how the data transfer take place between the two devices. The network logical topology is not necessary as same as of its physical topology. So basically, both are two different types of topology, physical topology and the logical topology. So basically, we more focused on the physical topology. So let us discuss about what are different types of physical topology. So the first is a mesh topology, the second is a star topology, third is a bus topology, fourth is a ring topology, and the last one is a tree topology. Sometimes it is also called as a hybrid topology. So let us discuss about each topology in detail. So now let us start with the mesh topology. A network setup where each computer network device is connected with other computer, allowing the most of the transmission to be distributed even one of the connection goes down. So now let us discuss about what do you mean by the mesh topology. So basically, in the mesh topology, the two devices are connected with a dedicated link. Now let us discuss about that. Now see here, this is my computer 1 and this is my computer 2. So can you see my computer 1 and computer 2 is connected by the dedicated link. Even computer 2 and computer 3 are connected by the dedicated link. So here every computer is connected to the other computer with the dedicated line. Now see here, this is my computer 1. This is a dedicated line between these two computers. This is a dedicated line between these two computer. This is a dedicated line between these two computer, and with this last computer there is a dedicated line. So every computer is connected with the dedicated line. So can you tell me over here, if any of the link get fail, only the communication between that two computer is going to affect. It does not affect the communication of the entire network. So because of that, we are saying over here that communication is distributed. Even one fail, it does not affect the other communication. This topology is not commonly used for most of the computer network as it is difficult, expensive to have the redundant connection to the every computer. Now see here, this is my computer 1 and there is a dedicated link to the each computer. So that many number of client, if the more number of client or more number of PC, that many number of cabling will be there. If now for example over here we considered only the 6 computers, now imagine there are 100 computers, what will happen, how the cabling will look like, it will be very complex task to connect each computer with the other computer with the help of separate cable. And because of the cabling cost is going to increase, so because of that we say this is a expensive in nature. So because of this disadvantage, it cannot be used for the large network, even it cannot be used because of the cost. So basically, this topology is used for the wireless network. So in the wireless network, you are connecting the devices without wired. So in that case, we are using this topology. So let us discuss about the topology with the help of example. So this is our example. Here the computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, computer 4, computer 5, computer 6. Each computer is connected to other computer with the dedicated line. See over here, total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 cables are everywhere. For every device there is a 5 cables. So here in the mesh topology, each device connected to other device with the dedicated link. So now let us discuss more about the links. So every device has a dedicated point to point link. So basically point to point link means what? Now see here, there is a point to point link. This is between the PC number 6 and the PC number 1. So means only the whatever the traffic in between the computer 1 and computer 6 is going to transmitted over this link. The other computer cannot send that information or cannot send that traffic. It is a point to point, means it is a dedicated link between the two devices called as a point to point. It does not shared by any other device. Next is a duplex mode. Duplex mode means what? What do you mean by the duplex? Means the two computer can send as well as receive at the same time. So that facility is provided by this link, that is a duplex mode. So two computer can send as well as they receive the data from the other computer. The link carries the traffic only between the two devices. As you know, the dedicated link means it is between only that two computer. It is not the shared resource. So whatever the traffic related to that 2 PC, it will carry on that link. Because of that, we said it is a point to point dedicated link. Now let us start with the calculation of number of nodes and the links. So basically over here, they will give me a certain topology. There are 4 devices, and now tell me in the mesh topology how many nodes will be there, how many input and output devices you needed, how many cables will be there in between the device. So that calculation we can define with the help of these formulas. So here the node 1 must connect it to the n minus 1 node. Means for example, now see here, how many computers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. And now this each computer is called it as node. Now I have to find out this one node is connected to how many else node. So now they give me here for the n in this case is nothing but 4. Now this computer number 4 is connected to how many number of nodes? I have to find that. Then what the formula I have to use? The formula is it is connected to n minus node. N minus node means what? 4 minus 1 is nothing but 3. So it basically the computer 4 is connected to the remaining 3 computers. So 1, 2, 3. Even if you take place the calculation for the computer 3 also, it is connected to n minus 1 node. So here n is 4, n minus 1 is 3. So 1, 2, 3. So it is connected to this and this. So that is the node calculation, how to calculate the number of nodes that is connected. Now let us discuss about the fully connected mesh have n minus 1 by 2 physical channel to the link or the devices. Now let us discuss about how to find the number of cables. Now for example, how many number of cables in the mesh topology. So there is a formula that is n minus 1 by 2. So here what is a n in this case? N means number of nodes. So how many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 nodes are there. Then n again you have to put 4 minus 1 divide by 2. So 4 into 3 divide by 2. So again so now how many links are there? 6. So number of links, or we can say cables, is equal to 6. Now see over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 5 and this is 6. So how many number of cables will be there in the mesh topology? You can find out with this formula, that is n minus 1 by 2. Now, how many input and output port will be there? So for that, the formula is n minus 1. Again, the same formula. Here now I want to find out, to PC number 1, how many input and output ports are connected. So this is one port, this is another port, and this is another port. So how many total number of nodes are there? 4. And to find out how many number of input and output port, that is nothing but the formula is n minus 1. Again I have to do 4 minus 1, so there will be a 3. So how many input output ports are there? 1, 2, 3. Over here for this PC also input output ports are there. 1, 2, 3. So in such a way we can find out how many number of nodes the particular PC is connected, how many dedicated links are there in the topology, and also we can find out the number of input and output devices. Now let us discuss about what are the advantage of mesh topology. They use a dedicated link, so that each link can only carry its own data, so the traffic problem can be avoided. Now, as you know, between the two computers there is a dedicated link. So only the traffic which is related to that two computer is carried out. For example, now see here, this is my computer 1, this is my computer 2. The dedicated link means what? Only whatever the traffic related to 1 and whatever traffic related to 2, it's going to carried over here. Now for example, if you are using the shared cable, for example, here this is one computer, here there is another computer, again here there is another computer. Now can you see here, the same cable is shared by 3 devices, 1, 2, 3. So here at a time only one computer can send his traffic and he has to wait for his chance. But in the dedicated link you will not find this problem, because only the traffic which is related to 1 and 2 will be sent over here. Over here also there is a chances of traffic jam. All this disadvantage you will not find in the point to point link. So in the shared resource, you will find out the traffic jam, congestion, but in the point to point, you will not find this problem. So that is one important advantage of this topology. It is robust, and the any one link get damaged, it does not affect the other. Now see over here in this example, now I found that there is a break in this cable. So which communication is affected? Only the computer 4 and computer 3 communication get lost, or it does not take place. But whether the can my 4 communicate with the 1? Yes, with the help of this link. Can it send the packet to the 2? Yes, with the help of this link. Even if he want to send the packet over here, he can take the route like this. One from 4 it will send to 1, from 1 it will send to 2, and from 2 it will send to 3. For that he has to take a long path. But if there is a one link is down, entire communication will not stop. It will not affect my the network communication. Now the next advantage is the privacy and the security. As you know, in the point to point link over here, only the traffic related to 1 and 2, only they know what they are sending. Now see here, if there is a communication between 1 and 2, so only they are knowing what they are sending to each other. Whether the my computer 4 and 3 know what they are sharing, which information they are sharing, no. So over here you will get the high privacy, because other node does not know what the communication is taking place between the two computer. But when you consider the shared resource, in the shared resource, this computer, all your packet will transfer to here also, means over in the shared resource, all the computer know where the packets are going. So here you will not get that privacy. So here, because of dedicated link, we get the privacy. So that is one important advantage of this topology. Next is fault identification, and next is fault isolation. For example, any link is get down, you immediately know which link get down, and according to that you can take certain steps. So here the fault identification is easy in this case. Now let us discuss about what are the disadvantage. The amount of cabling and the number of input and output port requires are very large. For example, as you know, now in the previous case, we considered only the four devices. So for connecting the four devices, how many links you needed? You need the 6 link. Now imagine there are thousands of PC, then how many number of links you need? How many dedicated cables you are needed? That much number of n minus 1 number of input and output ports are needed. Means if there are 1,000 of the host, then 1,000 minus 1, that is 999 number of input and output ports are required. So because of that, there will be a huge number of cabling as well as huge number of input and output ports. The sheer bulk wiring is large, and then the available space, because of the cabling, the available space will be very less. The hardware required to connect each device is also highly expensive. So, whatever the hardware you need to connect, that is input and output ports, you need to connect to each device. That add the extra cost, as well as the cabling also add the extra cost. So, overall, entire topology is very expensive. Now let us discuss about basically where we use this topology, that is nothing but application. So we use it in the telephone regional office, and we use in the WAN, that is wide area network. Now let us discuss about the next topology is nothing but a star topology. Here each device has a dedicated point to point link to the central controller is called as hub. Now let us discuss about it. Now see here, this is my computer 1, computer 2, 3, 4, and this is nothing but printer. Now can you see that each computer is connected to this central hub. This is nothing but hub, and each device there is a point to point link with the central controller, that is called as hub. So the point to point link between the each computer with the hub. There is no direct traffic between the device. Now see here, my computer 1 and computer 2 cannot directly connected with the help of cable. All the connection is done with the help of central hub. the two device cannot send the traffic directly to each other. First they has to send to that of hub, and then hub will forward to that of computer 2. There is no direct connection between the two computers. The transmissions are occur only through the central hub. So only the whenever you want to communicate with any device, first you have to send that traffic to hub, and then hub will retransmit that data. It is a high performance, no data collision can occur. Basically what happened now, there is, whenever there is a shared resource, there is a chances of collision. For example, both the computers started sending the data at the same time, then what will happen? There will be a collision. But here what you have to do, whenever you want to send the data, the first you have to send the hub, and then hub will decide when to send. That function is done by the hub. Because of that, the collision chances are very less. So this is our star topology. All devices are connected with the central hub. So whenever you want to make any connection, you have to directly connect with that of hub. The central point may be a passive, active, or the intelligent. So in the hub also, there are three different categories. It may be used as a passive hub, maybe used as an active hub, maybe used as an intelligent hub. So let us discuss about that categories. What do you mean by a passive hub? A passive hub is simply connect the arm of the star. No signal regeneration is performed over here. So whatever the signal he get from the device. For example, over here, now my computer 1 want to send the information to computer 2. So what it will do? First it will send the data to that of hub. Then hub, as it is, as you know, the distance between the hub and the computer, it may possible it is a large distance, and because of during that phase your signal may get distorted. But what the function of hub, the hub just take that data, it does not do any modification. As it will send to the device, that is computer number 2. So that is, that type of hub is called as a passive hub. Whatever the data he got, as it will transmit to the other end. Now let us discuss about what do you mean by the active hub. It is like a passive hub, except it regenerate the signal. It regenerate the signal means what? It tried to, whenever he got the signal and it is distorted, then he tried to remove that noise and tried to regenerate that signal. So here the regeneration is done by that of active hub. Next is, what do you mean by the intelligent hub? The intelligent hub is not only regenerate the signal, but it also perform the activities such as intelligent path selection and the network management. So along with the regeneration of the signal, it also do the certain additional tasks for finding out or selecting the best path for the device and the network management. So that is done by that of intelligent hub. Now let us discuss about what are the advantage. Less expensive than the mesh, since each device is connected only to the hub. So basically, if you consider the cabling cost, here when we consider with the mesh topology, in the star topology we need the less cabling because there is a dedicated link only with that of hub. So here the cabling cost is less as that of mesh topology. Installation and the configurations are easy. Now see here, if you want to add any device over here, for example, I want to add the PC, just what you have to do? You have to put the cable between the PC and that of hub port. So if you want to remove this printer, what you have to remove? You have to just remove this cable. So here the installation means adding the number of PC or adding the devices as well as removing the devices over here is much simpler. Next is robustness. Here if one link is failed, then the link is affected only that link is affected. For example, now see here, now there is this link is get down. Now what will happen? Only the communication with this computer is affected. You can communicate with the other devices, you can communicate with the printer, you can communicate with the computer 4, you can communicate with the computer 3, computer 2, computer 1. Only the communication with the computer 4 is affected. The other communication, it does not affect on the other communication. So here also there is a easy fault identification as well as removal of the part. If you want to remove the device, just remove that cable. Addition of the device is also a easy task. Now let us discuss about what are the disadvantage. Even it require the less cabling than the mesh when we compare with the other topology like a ring or the bus topology. Here the cabling cost is more. As you know, in the bus topology, basically we are using the shared cable. Even in the ring topology, what happened? Only the dedicated link between the immediate or the adjacent device. So here if you see, there is a dedicated link with the each device and the hub. So because of that, the cabling cost is increased. Next is dependency. As you know, the my whole network is depend upon the hub. So here the dependency, the whole dependent on the single point, that is nothing but hub. When it goes down, the whole system is dead. See now here, if any one link is down, it does not affect my communication. But if my hub is down, then entire communication is get affected. So entire dependency is on the hub. The extra hardware is required over here, that is hub, which add the cost. As you know, the cabling cost is there because you are adding the dedicated link between the hub and that device, as well as the cost of hub is also more. So because of that, the overall costing is expensive as compared to that of the remaining topologies. Now let us discuss about what are the applications. So here the star topology is used in the LAN network. So basically the LAN network means in the small networks we are going to use the star topology, and the high speed LAN use in as well as the star topologies are used in the high speed LAN topologies. So basically for the smaller network we prefer the star topologies. Now let us discuss about the next topology is a bus topology. So basically a bus topology is a multi-point topology. So basically multi-point topology means what? The multi-point topology means the same link is shared by the many devices. For example, this is a computer, this is another computer. So basically this is called as a multi-point. Here, one long cable will act as a backbone link to all the devices connected to the backbone by the drop line and the tap line. So basically here, as you know, all the devices connected to this backbone link. See here, and can you see here, it is connected with the tap and the drop line. So let us discuss about that. So this is my computer 1 which is connected to this cable, and this is called as backbone link. So drop line is nothing but is a connection of the devices and the cable. So basically drop line means what? The, the device is connected to the link with the help of drop line. Next is what is mean by the tap. The tap, it is nothing but splitter that cut the main link. So this allow only one device to transmit at a time. So now as you know, this is a shared medium, so only one device at a time, only one device can send the traffic. At the end, now see here, if this is my link, These are the different PCs connected to over here. Now at the end of the link, you always find the terminator. So what is use of that terminator? To avoid the signal bounce. Now see here in the diagram. Now these are nothing but terminator. What is the function of terminator? For example, any packet that is sent by this computer, and finally it reach over here at the end. Then what will happen? Here the terminator will going to absorb that packet. It does not allow that packet to again come back to the same cable. Means the signal bouncing is not allowed over here. So the signal bouncing is avoided by the terminator. If any packet comes to the end, it will get absorbed by the terminator. The single cable connect all network node without intervening the connectivity devices. So basically, as you know, all the nodes are get connected by the single link. The device share the responsibility for getting the data from one point to the another point. So basically, whenever this one computer want to send, now see here, if one computer want to send the data to third computer, so here the all the PCs are take the responsibility. So whenever the packet is come to the computer number 2, it will not see, it will just see the address. If it is not matching, it will going to discard the packet, and then the again that packet is forwarded to the third. So here the each PC is doing the responsibility, and at a time only one device is going to send the data. So this is computer 1, computer 2, computer 3. This is a drop line. Drop line means there is a connection between the device and the main cable. Tap means it is like a splitter which split the main cable. At the end, you will find out the terminator which will absorb the signal to avoid the bouncing of the signal. Now let us discuss about how the working is take place. If any one device, as you know, it is a shared link. So how the one computer will send the data to the other computer. So what are the different step it take place? When a device send the message, it will broadcast down on the cable in both the direction. Now, broadcasting means what? Broadcasting means sending packet to all the links or all the nodes. For example, in the unicast, you will send the packet only to that to the destination. But broadcasting means from that point, it will send to all the points. Now see here, this is my sender, and he want to send the packet, then it will send to this device also, it will send this device also, this it will send to this device also. Means whatever that how many devices are connected to that cable, it will send that packet to all and every device. That is called as broadcasting. So now here the terminator at the end, that will prevent the signal from the reflecting back to the sender. Now, as you know, just now we discussed the terminator. Here the terminators are present which going to absorb the packet. It will not allow that packet to again go back into the network. All the devices on the cable constantly monitor for the message mean to them. So basically, whenever any packet comes to any device, it will constantly monitor whether that my destination address is matching with my address, then only it will accept that packet. If the destination address is not matching, it will going to discard the packet. Now, just now we discussed the packet is sent to every and all devices, but in this case, who is my receiver? This PC is my receiver. So here it will check this whenever the packet comes to this computer, it will check what is the destination address. It is not matching, so it will discard. Again, this computer also check the packet destination address not matching, so discard. Finally, whenever this receiver it see that destination address is matching, so it will accept it. So here when the device detect a message meant for it, it will read the message from the cable, otherwise it will just ignore it. So basically whatever the packet is for that destination, only that device is going to read, other devices are going to ignore that packet or discard that packet. Since all the devices are sharing the same cable, the same form of control is needed to make sure that which device is transmit and when, otherwise there will be a collision. Now see here, this is this computer 1 and this is computer 2. Now here there is a proper accessing should be there because the cable is common. If sender 1 want to send, even my computer 2 want to send, if both the send at a time, then what will happen? The two packet get collide. I don't want that. So whenever they are sending the data, the first they have to take a control on the cable and then only it will send the data. So there are the different accessing technique, so to avoid the collision. So now let us discuss about what are the advantages. So the first advantage is easy to install. If you want to add the cable, just goes on adding the cable and you can add the number of devices easily. Less cabling, as you know, there is no dedicated link. There is a common shared link between the all the devices. So over here, the cabling cost will be very less. Easy to connect or remove the device in the network without affecting any other device. If you want to remove, it will not affect the entire communication. You can easily add the computer as well as you can remove the computer. In the case of any computer or the device failure, there will be no effect on the other device or the network. Now see here, this link get down. So whether the communication is affected, no. The one can communicate with the fourth, one can communicate with the three computer. Only they cannot communicate with the computer two because that link is affected, but my entire network is not get affected. Next is cable cost is less as compared to that of other network topology like mesh and the star, so less expensive. So just now we discussed there is a shared cable between all the device. So if you compare with the mesh and the star, there is a dedicated link. So over here my cabling cost will be very less. It is easy to understand the topology. So here the network administrator can easily understand what is the topology, how the hosts are connected. Easy to expand by joining the two cables. So now if you want to expand your network, just you have to add the backbone cable and you can add the number of users. Now let us discuss about what are the disadvantage. Difficult to reconfigure and the fault isolation. So basically here where the exact fault take place, to find that, if imagine there is a single wire and there are hundred of users, if the one link is get down, it is very difficult to find out where the link exactly get down. So it is very difficult to find out the fault and difficult to add the new device. As you know, we can say that if I want to add the new device, I will just add the backbone network and then I'll attach the device. But as you know, there is a limitation for adding, extending the LAN cable also, because as you increase the length, the signal distortion is goes on increasing. So there is a limitation how much you can increase that backbone LAN. So here it is difficult to add the new device. A signal reflection at the top can degrade in the quality. So as now we discuss, as the more number of user, the length increases and because of that the signal distortion take place. if any fault in the backbone can stop entire communication. So here the entire dependency of the network is on the backbone network. If my backbone link is not working, the my entire network is down. The main disadvantage of the bad connection to the cable can bring down the entire network. The collision occurs when the two nodes send the message simultaneously. So, just now we discussed my backbone link is a shared link. If two computers started their communication without consulting, then it is a possibility there will be a collision of the data. So, the collision of the traffic take place. So, that is one of the disadvantage of this topology. So now let us discuss about what are the application. So here the most this is used in the motherboard. Now let us start with the next topology is the ring topology. Here each device has a dedicated connection with the two device on the either side. So basically here there is a dedicated connection. Now see, this is my computer 1, computer 2, computer 3, computer 4. So can you see this is a dedicated line between the computer 1 and 4. This is a dedicated link between the computer 1 and 2. Means there is a dedicated link with the adjacent sides. The signal is passed in one direction from device to device until it reach the destination, and each device have the repeaters. Now see here, your data can only transmit in this way, only the one direction. It cannot now, for example, the one want to send the data to 4. Then what? It has to take this path. It cannot send directly to that of 4. So here the communication take place only in one direction, and here the each computer is acting as a repeater. Means what? Whenever you get the signal and which is distorted, he try to remove that noise and try to regenerate the signal, and then it will forward to that of next computer. So each computer it act as a repeater. So when one device receive the signal instead of the intended another device, its repeater and that regenerate the data and pass them along. Now see here, for example, the one want to send the packet to 3. So what the one, whenever that packet comes to the 2, it will see the destination address is not matching. So what it will do? It will just regenerate the signal and it forward to the next computer. To add or delete the device, we require the change only in the two connections. Now I want to remove this device. Then what you have to? You have to just remove this cable and this cable. If you want to add the two again the new devices, again you have to make the changes only in the two connection. The remaining connection will be as it is. Now let us discuss about what are the advantage of this topology. All the data flow in one direction, reducing the chances of packet collision. So as you know, my data is flowing in one direction only. So collision, that two sender will send the data at the same time, but here the chances of collisions are very less. Now see here, the computer 1 is try to send the data, computer 3 is try to send the data. Then what happened here? What will take place? Here there is no collision because every cable is different. For each computer, the cable is different. A network server is not needed to control the network connectivity with the each station. So here there is no server is needed. So that find out how the communication take place. We don't need that. The data can transfer between the workstation at very high speed. So here the speed of transmission, data transmission is very high. The additional workstation can be added without impacting the performance of the network, easy to install. So just now we discussed, whenever I want to add the new device, what I have to do? I have to just remove the two connection, or I have to add the two more connections. So in this way, you can add the device as well as you can remove the device. The fault identification is also easy in this case, where the link get down to find out that link is also the easy in this case. So now let us discuss about what are the disadvantage. The all data being transferred over the network must be passed through the each station on the network, which can make it slower than that of star topology. Now see here, whenever the one computer want to send the data to 3, so first it has to send to 2, from 2 it will send to 3. So now here we consider only 4 devices. For example, if there are 100 of devices, then passing that packet to all the devices. So because of that, the packet transmission delay will be there. In this case, you will get more amount of delay. The entire network will be impacted if the any one workstation is down. Now see here, if this computer is stop working, then what will happen? Whether my computer 1 and 3 can communicate? No, because my entire network is get down if any one node is get affected. The hardware needed to connect each workstation in the network is more expensive than that of Ethernet card and hub and switches. So basically, so the works, whatever the hardware we needed to connect the two computers, here it is more expensive. So because of that, there is overall cost is going to increase. Now let us discuss about what are the application. A ring topology is found in the same office building or some school campus. So basically for the small network, for example, the network of small school or small offices, you can go for the ring topology. Today, the high-speed LAN made this topology is less popular because, as you know, the delay in this case is more. So nowadays, in the high-speed LAN, we don't go for this topology. So now let us start with that of tree topology. So basically, this is also referred as star bus topology. So basically, the tree topology is nothing but it is a combination of star topology as well as bus topology. The tree topology is a one of the most common network setup that is similar to bus topology and the star topology. So basically, we take the advantage of both the topology, that is the star topology and the bus topology. We are combined and we form the tree topology. A tree topology connect the multiple star network to the other star network. Now see here, this is my one star network, this is another star network. So basically it is a combination of the star topology, and over here this is a bus. So basically it is combination of star as well as bus topology, and here you can use the multiple star networks. Below as a visual example of the simple computer setup network using the star topology. So now let us discuss with the help of example. So here there is a 3 star network, 1, 2, 3, and this is my backbone. All are connected by the backbone link. So this is showing me the bus topology. So here the many number of star topologies and they are connected by the bus topology. So entire this topology is called as a tree topology. Now let us discuss about why we choose this topology. What is the logic behind it? Why we are combining the two topology? The first is the money, because the bus network may be a least expensive way to install the network. So as you know, why we go for the bus topology? Because it is cheaper in the cost. Here we are using the shared resource, that is backbone link, and because of that the cabling, overall cabling cost is going to reduce. So why we considered the bus topology? Because it is a less expensive, because if you consider the other topology, we need the more number of cabling. Next is the length of the cable needed. A linear bus network use the shorter length of the cable, and as you know, we are not try to increase the cable length, because as you increase the length of the cable, the signal distortion is goes on increasing. So I want to reduce the cable length. Because of that also we choose this topology, because in the star topology we can reduce the cable length. If I just go for the bus topology, then to add the number of devices, I would need to add more number of backbone link, and because of that my system performance is affected. So here basically we are also using the star topology, so because of that the cable length is going to reduce. A future growth, it is a star topology, expanding the network easily done by adding the other devices. Now as you know, in the star topology, what if you want to add the new devices, just you have to connect the single cable, that device to that of hub, so you can add the number of users. So that facility is also given by this topology. A cable type, the most a cable used in the commercial organization is a twisted pair, which often used in the star topology. So basically, if you compare with that of optical fiber communication, for that you need the optical fiber, which is more expensive. But when you go for that of star topology, you can connect with the help of twisted pair, and which is less costly. Now let us discuss about what are the advantage of this topology. It is easy to install. It is a combination of bus and star topology. So basically in the star topology, the more number of users you can add, that advantage you are taking. Next is a bus topology, means what, here in the bus topology you are using the shared resource, because of that cabling cost is reduced, so that, so we are taking the advantage of both the topology, and it is nothing but the combination of star and the bus topology. It provides the high scalability, and the leaf node can add the more number of nodes in the hierarchical chain. Now see here, now if you want to add the users, you can just add computer over here, you can just add. So these are my parent nodes, and the parent nodes will give you the child nodes, and again you can add. So now here this become the parent node and this become the child node, again this can become the parent node and this become the child node. So you can goes on adding the number of users. Other nodes in the networks are not affected if one of this node is get damaged. So now see here, if my this link is stop working, so whether the communication with this can take place, only the communication with this computer cannot take place. So here if any link is get down, it will not affect the entire network. It provide the easy maintenance and the fault identification. If the any link is get down, you can easily find out. Even you can, the for the maintenance purposes also, this is a simple task. Not reboot to failure. Now for example, if the main link is now, just now we discuss, here any one link is get down, it does not affect my entire network. Again it is not very secure. Now we are discussing about the disadvantages over here. It is not reboot to failure, means for example we are using the bus topology as well as we are using the star topology. So now imagine there is a link down which is a backbone link, then what will happen, my entire network will get affected, that entire network is get affected. Now it is not very secure. For example, if you are considering the star topology, so this is my hub, this is the one PC, another PC, here the another PC. So whenever you're sending the packet, the first it is not very secure. In the bus topology, as you know, only in the star topology you are sending the packet to that of hub, but when you are considering the bus topology, you are broadcasting the packet. So broadcasting means your packet is goes to every computer, so over there there is no security. A large cabling is required as compared to that of star and bus topology. You are doing the combination of both the topology. So here whatever the cabling cost will be more as compared to that of single star or bus topology. On the failure of the hub, the entire network fails. Just now, if this my device is stop working, whether the communication take place? No, because the entire communication is depend upon the hub. So now let us do the comparison. Now this is the bus topology, ring topology and the star topology. So let us discuss the first point. What is the structure? So in the bus topology, there is a single central cable and all computers and the other devices connected to it. As you know, in the bus topology, there is a backbone network and my all devices are connected. Now in the ring topology, what happened? The ring topology means here it is like this structure. All the computer and devices are connected in the circle. Where in the star topology means the devices are connected like this way. The central host is there and the all nodes are connected to that of central host. Host existence, now it is depend upon the network need. Here the host existence is depend upon means the controller, whether the controller is needed over here. If needed, then we can put over here. If needed, then we can put over here. But here the existence is very important. The hub is very important. The connection between the nodes. So there is no connection between the node. Directly the two computer. Now see here, this is one PC, this is another PC. There is no direct communication. It is connected by the backbone length. Here there is a connection, yes, with the adjacent node it is connected. Here also the two devices they are connected with the help of hub. They are not directly connected. Host failure, then still the network can run. If the any node get down, what will happen? My entire communication take place. Here any host is down, what will happen? My entire network will fail. Here also one host is here means, for example, your hub is down, the entire communication will stop. Next, let us talk about the node failure. Here the network can still run. As you know, any node is down, then the network communication can take place. Here, as you know, any one node is down means entire network is down. Here, the any node means, for example, if hub is down, then entire communication take place. If any one link is down, then the communication will take place. Easy for troubleshooting, let us discuss about it. Here in the bus topology, it is very difficult to troubleshoot. Need to search for the problematic node one by one. You have to check each and every link in the bus topology. Depend upon the backbone, and if there is a backbone, troubleshooting is difficult. And if there is no backbone, the focus on the two node not communicating. Now see here, we will here troubleshooting is depend upon the backbone network. If there is a backbone, troubleshooting is difficult. If there is no backbone, then we'll just focus on the node. Here it is depend upon the host. If it is easier to repair also. However, if the node fails, then each node has to be searched. So then if there is a node failure in the node, then you have to find out that node. Here adding, as you know, here if we see in the bus topology, we can easily add. Now for example, in the star topology also you can add, but in the star topology it is average, where in the ring topology in this it is little bit difficult. The number of node when extended network, if you want to add, here it is many, over here it is limited, over here it is limited. So that was the comparison between the different topology. Thank you.